live right now our first guest. We've got Stephen Wonderboy Thompson and his father, Wonder Dad Ray Thompson. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to DJPen.com radio.
Hey, guys. How you doing? Thanks for having us. I like the Wonder Dad thing.
I've been sitting back thinking what kind of nickname can we come up with, and we had spoke about doing some type of contest where the winner would get a signed shirt from you guys, and I still want to do that. We were going to center it around your blog, leading up to your fight, but it's just put off to the side for now. And once you get back and healthy and ready to kick some ass in the Octagon, we'll get back on that. But for now, I think the Wonder Dad moniker sounds pretty good.
It definitely does. Well, I'll go ahead. I'll lead things off. It's great having you guys on the show again. I wanted to ask you, Stephen. I know you were supposed to fight UFC 154 in Montreal. Suffered an unfortunate injury. Just wanted to ask you how that all came about, and how your recovery is going so far.
Well, yeah, we had a minor setback. I was so looking forward to get back in the Octagon November 17th, especially on a card as big as this coming up. In Montreal. The George St. Pierre and Condit fight, man, and George is one of my good buddies and training partners, so I was looking forward to having some training camp out, the last few weeks of my training camp there. But we had a minor setback here in training camp, and it was everybody knows in the past that my left leg, I think it was about 6 or 7 years ago, I tore every ligament in that leg, and I was out for 3 years just trying to rehab it and get it back, 100%. And we were just doing some stuff we do every day, training, working some takedown defense, and just a little tweak. And my foot, actually, I had a guy shoot into my legs, and I went to sprawl, but my foot stayed and my knee moved on me, and a little hyperextension, and I ended up tearing my meniscus, and then it folded into the joint. So I couldn't straighten my leg all the way out because of that meniscus tear. So, I tried to suck it up, and, hopefully it wasn't anything big, but the next day it was swollen and, very, very painful. But, we had surgery, and it wasn't, I was back on my feet the next day, but just taking every, day by day and taking it slow, not trying to rush into things. And I made that mistake one time. My knee started feeling well, and went out there and started training hard and ended up hurting it again. So I learned my lesson on that. So right now, just taking it slow. Everything's going good, and back into this physical therapy.
Well, I got to say, I love your positive attitude, man, because that's something a lot of people don't have in this world. Bad things happen to them, and they just, they mope around. They start flipping out on other people, taking out their aggression out on others. But you got a great attitude, and I said admire that. How soon do you think you'll be, back in the Octagon?
Man, like they said, it's about 6 to 8 weeks recovery. So I'm doing very minor things here in training, just trying to keep my leg out of it. There's guys walking by and seeing me sitting on a Bosu ball, just hitting the bag, with my feet up. So I've always been a positive guy, and sitting around moaning about it and being negative about it's not going to get me anywhere. So I'm ready to go. Hopefully I'll be back probably mid-February. That's what we're shooting for.
Maybe we'll get you on that Super Bowl card.
Oh, that would be awesome.
And you actually made your UFC debut last February, UFC 143. You got the knockout of the night, which leads me into congratulating you on being nominated for Knockout of the Year by Fighters Only. How does that feel to get that type of honor?
Wow, especially, my first UFC fight, UFC 143, to have that, man, it's awesome. To be up there with, so many other guys with the knockout of the night, but, it's a privilege, to be honest with you.
And Ray, I know, we've spoken a few times, and the amount of pride you have for your son is so evident every time we talk. How does that feel, knowing all the hard work that you guys have done, culminated in such a great honor and such a fantastic moment?
It was a tremendous moment for me, and definitely for the Wonderboy. He like he said, he'd been training all his life. He fought his first fight when he was 15. I mean, full contact fight. It was kickboxing, but it was a full contact fight. And so it's been a lot of years he's been training and suffering abuse. I mean, he started the training when he was 3, so for many years there he was abused by all the other his other teammates, for a number of years, which definitely fashioned him to a degree, to a great degree. So when it was time for him to step out there and mix it up, he's been doing great. He's been doing great, and then all of a sudden to get knockout of the night and to get such accolades as he did on his first fight, I mean, that's hard to express how excited I am about that. I mean, it's amazing. So, I'm not sure exactly what to say other than, I'm as proud as a papa can be.
Now, Ray, we mentioned when we opened the episode here, I mean, you have one of the best martial arts schools, out there in the country right now. And I know you recently received an award for, it was one of the top 10 martial arts schools in the country. Kind of talk about that a little bit and talk about, all the things that are going on with your school.
Well, we've been in business in our little town. Our little town is only about 16,000 people in our community, 16,000 residents. So, we are bouncing between 600 and 650 students in our school. So
wow.
we're doing pretty well. Lots of kids, lots of adults. It's pretty. Of course, we've been here since 1983. We've been here for a long number of years. Actually, about the time the Wonderboy was born is when we actually opened our school here in our little town of Simpsonville. So we've been at it a long time, and we've developed a name in the community, and we do a lot. We're very community-minded. The Wonderboy is constantly going out to schools, doing DARE programs and talking to kids about various issues in their lives, working on character development. We're ingrained. We're rooted into the community, and pretty much everybody here knows who we are. I've actually taught grandkids of students that I've taught. I've taught students, their kids, and their grandkids. That's how long I've been at it in this area. So
that's amazing.
We're quite proud of our heritage. We've developed a little bit of a legacy in our community, so we're proud of that. And like you said earlier about the Wonderboy being very positive, we try to be a positive influence, in our community as well. So it's just the way we roll.
I love it, and that's one thing that I want everyone who because a lot of people don't really understand martial arts in the sense that they just think it's like, oh, two guys, fighting, throwing hands, kicks, and whatever, but they don't understand like the positive impact, positive influence that it can have in somebody's life. I mean, I grew up in martial arts. I was 4 years old. My parents threw me into a dojo right away. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. And then, it really, I have to thank martial arts for the person that I am today. So I love, hearing stories about successful, gyms. And I wanted to ask you, because this is something that I'm pretty big on myself, if we can talk about a positive outlook. And one thing that I've noticed a lot of people, they'll have terrible things happen to them. Like, let's say, for example, Hurricane Sandy, for tragic things that happen to people. What is the biggest advice you can give somebody to turn adversity into opportunity, to rise back up and come back stronger?
Well, when you get situations like that where you get kind of beat on a bit, just try to think back. I mean, if you're a martial artist yourself and you train, just try to think back some of the tough sessions that you've been through, some of the toughest sessions that you've been through. And just kind of realize, what, that was tough, but I made it through it. My training has allowed me to endure that tough situation. Well, you know what? I guess I can apply that same perseverance to the situation I'm in right now. If a tree fell on my house or it blew my house away, okay, I'm still alive. I still have blood running through my veins. My lungs are still full of air. I can push forward from this. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but people do it. People that are lesser than me press through it. So for sure, I can. If they can keep that image in their head, that thought in their head, lesser people have done it than I can do it. I can push forward through it. I think it would definitely help those less fortunate to rise up above that bad situation.
Stephen, I just wanted to touch very briefly on something that we have spoken about, a couple times over the past few weeks before your injury. That was one of your students had suffered an injury. She fell out of a tree, Addie Reese. Just wanted to get a little update and see how she was doing.
Well, actually, she's doing very well. She's slowly going back to normal. You know, she actually fell out of a tree about 12 feet high, and they think she landed on one of the roots. But you know, at first, you know, since she landed on her head, we were all worried about her, you know, her neck. You know, that's the big thing. But her neck was fine. They did some MRIs and things like that. But she had a skull fracture, and you know, it was very painful, man. Very painful to see one of your students that's, you know, especially with the dad who's been through a lot. You know, Nick Campbell, and, you know, he lost a brother, you know, several years back, and his dad's not doing too well, and then his daughter falls out of a tree and ends up, you know, busting her head. So, I mean, she was in the hospital for about a month and a half, but she's doing so much better, you know, and I love to keep up with my students. You know, like you said about, you know, the martial arts doing positive things for people. You know, I'm the head kids instructor here at Upstate Karate, and you see these kids grow up, and you want to be a positive influence in their life because, you know, the martial arts is not all about, you know, kicking and punching and fighting all the time. You know, there's life lessons and morals and things that you teach, and in doing that, especially here at the school and watching these kids grow up, you know, it hurts to see one of your students like that. So, you know, been updating and keeping people informed on how she's doing, and, man, she's still kicking, man. It's awesome.
You know, being you're a welterweight, there's 3 very intriguing welterweight bouts coming up. You know, you're very familiar with GSP, of course. You've been training alongside him for a while now. Just wanted to get both you and your dad's opinions on Hendricks, Campman. Then if you could move on to Condit, GSP, and then finally in December we got BJ Penn making his return to the Octagon against Rory McDonald. Somebody else that you guys are pretty familiar with.
You want me to chime in on this, Wonderboy?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. Hendricks and Campman. Wow, that's going to be a grindhouse. They're both extremely tough. They both have knockout power. They both have all kind of skills. Hendricks, of course, has the better wrestling skills. I think Campman has got. I think he's from what I've seen, he appears to be more well-rounded as an MMA fighter. Hendricks has got a superior wrestling game, and he's just got crazy knockout power out of nowhere. That's going to be an interesting fight. If I were going to pick someone on that, wow, that'd be a hard one. But
I got Hendricks on that one.
Well,
you know, Hendricks is a beast. You know, he's a monster. He's got, you know, like you said, good wrestling skills, but he's working his way up, and both of them are really good fighters. And like they said, it's really hard to pick somebody, especially at that level. But I like Hendricks. I like his attitude, and I like his character. So I want to see Hendricks win that one.
About him all the time. You know, we had him on 2 Sundays ago, and you guys remind me of each other so much. Just the way that you carry yourselves and the respect you have for other people, and the way you value your friends and family. You two are so similar. You would get along. If you guys grew up as neighbors, you'd probably be best friends. It's amazing how you are.
Well, thanks, man. I watch him fight. I appreciate that, but you know that's definitely a compliment. You know, I've always been a Hendricks fan, just the way he carries himself. You know, and outside out of the octagon. So he's a cool dude.
Yeah, he's very respectful. You can tell he's an honorable dude, and he ain't scared. So, not that any other guys in there are scared, but he'll get up there and he'll give it all he's got. So, I have a lot of respect for him. Good guy.
All right, then you got the title fight with GSP and Condit.
Well, you know, kind of biased on that one. You know, just being in training camp and knowing George and training with him, just to be, I mean, and Condit, no joke. I mean, he's got excellent striking. But I've never seen George so hungry for something. You know, I was at the start of his training camp, and I just never seen anybody. Of course, George he's got a work ethic like nobody I've ever seen. But on top of that, now he's got something to look forward to. He's been out of the game for so long, for a year, and he's eating at the bit to get out there. And you know, I fear for the person who gets out there to throw with you know, to fight George.
Yeah.
But
he's definitely coming with a different mindset. He's, you know, people have been talking about how he doesn't finish fights, but people also got to remember that every time George fights, he fights the number 2 guy in the division. Every time he fights, he never fights number 4, number 5. He fights always number 2. So him and George are the best 2 guys in the welterweight division and the best fight promotion in the world. So don't think number 2 is going to come in there and be some guy that's going to lay down. He's going to be geared up, primed up. He wants to be number 1. So that's the situation George is in 100% of the time. So is he going to finish all those guys? No. Is he going to be smart? George is a smart dude, and he's got smart coaches. He's going to get out there and he's going to win. That's his job. His job is to get out there and win, and of course, you know, be a showman. He's got to put on a fight. So George puts on the best fight that he knows how to put on. George is a winner. And can he knock you out? He's proven he can knock you out. Can he submit you? He's proven he can do that. Is number 2 guy going to allow him to do that? No, not at all. George's going to have to make it happen. Not going to be easy.
And last but not least, you got B.J. Penn and Rory, another guy that you're very familiar with.
Oh yeah, George is out of that camp, out of TriStar in Montreal, and God, I mean,
Rory.
for somebody so young, to be honest with you, and so well-rounded in this game, it's ridiculous. I mean, you got a lot of guys out there who have some part of the game better than others. You know, like me, it's my striking game, and you got Hendricks, it's his wrestling game. But somebody like Rory McDonald, he's grown up with it all together, you know, and God, he's a monster. I mean, he's up there. He's up there. I mean, I've had the privilege to do a lot of training with him. And he's amazing. And of course, you know, BJ Penn's no joke, but I think Rory McDonald's is just, you know, he's got the younger years on him, and he's a beast. He's a beast.
He's extremely athletic, and he's a lot taller than BJ. Got long, crazy long arms, and he's accurate, and he's efficient. He's a very efficient fighter. But, and like Steven said, he is an MMA fighter at the truest sense of the word. He didn't come up like the Wonderboy came up a karate guy with developing his striking skills. Didn't have to come back and play catch up on wrestling and jiu-jitsu. Well, Rory didn't have that. He got it all from the start. So he's definitely what to do. Yeah.
But BJ Penn, man, he's world champion. He's been up at the top. He knows what it's about, and I don't see BJ Penn just going out there and laying down either. I mean, he's a veteran, man. He knows how to play the game and knows how to play it well.
BJ's never laid down with anybody. I don't think he's going to lay down for this one. Yeah.
It's going to be an absolutely insane fight.
For sure. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, sorry to cut you off there. Wanted to ask you also about, your other son and also, Stephen, your brother, Evan. I know he was making his pro debut. How's everything going with him?
Oh, man, training camp's going good. You know, he posts on Twitter all the time. So if the Titan MMA, he's actually on Twitter. So he's keeping us informed on his training camp. He lives out of Dallas, actually, with my brother-in-law, Carlos Machado. He runs one of the schools there. And he's got some really good jiu-jitsu guys. Evan's jiu-jitsu is definitely top-notch in his striking. Of course, growing up here at with the karate background, his movement, and he fights at 185, and he's about 6'3", 6'4", got an 81-inch reach. So even though I'm the oldest brother, I'm like the brunt compared to my other two. But he's focused. He's got a fight coming up, I think, December for Legacy. Is it Legacy?
Legacy.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's pumped and fired up, ready to throw down.
Nice. He sounds like
I think that fight's December 14th.
Is that December 14th? Okay.
I think that's right.
Well, like I said, if he wants to come on the show, you guys want to bring him on, and he wants to talk about it, we'd love to have him on.
Oh, definitely.
I'll shoot you some dates.
Yeah, okay. Awesome. Just set that up, or just let us know when, and I'll definitely get a hold of Evan, or Stephen will get a hold of Evan, and that'd be great.
Where's Mitch?
Are you there?
Yeah. I'm here. Got distracted.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Got distracted, you know. Crazy people running around.
talking about Stephen's brothers. Stephen's got a baby. Stephen's the oldest. He's 29. He walks around about 85, 90. He's got Evan, who's 28, I think.
Yeah.
He walks around about 210. He's a 85er, and then they both got a baby brother. His name is Tony. Tony plays football for a university up in North Carolina called Elon University. And he's 262. He's about 275, 280. And so Stephen said he's definitely the run of the litter. So he definitely good thing he's got his speed, because his other two brothers are way bigger than he is, so he's got to be fast if he's going to get that last biscuit.
It's always the last biscuit, huh?
Yeah, it was like that growing up, especially two bigger brothers and my sisters. You know, there's 5 of us, so I got 2 brothers and 2 sisters, and people always wonder, man, why do you eat so fast? You know, it's like, golly, once it got on the table, if you didn't get it, it was gone.
Hey, well, that's what it was with me. You know, I was the oldest. I always just kind of, you know, we were fighting over food, and I just kicked both my brothers' asses. I think one of them's probably listening right now. Dylan, what's up? I don't want to hold on for too much longer. I don't want to take up too much more of your time. Just one more thing I wanted to ask you, Stephen. You know, I know you're itching to get back in there. You're itching to get right back in the Octagon and continue where you picked up and start whooping ass again. What can fans expect from Stephen Wonderboy Thompson when he returns to the UFC?
Man, you're going to see a totally different Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. I mean, of course, I was training really, really hard for this next fight and against a guy named Bisam Yosef. But like I said, you know, always look at it in a positive way. You know, it happened. My knee. I tweaked my knee, and it happened for a reason. But that's just me. You know, giving me more time to really lay down build my game, not just my striking. That can always get better. My jiu-jitsu and my wrestling. But it's going to be exciting. I'm there. I want to put on a show.
All right, gentlemen, I really appreciate your time. You know, it's always a pleasure talking to both of you. I'm definitely going to make my way up there, and I'm looking to make the population there 16,004 very soon. You know,
come and see us, bro. Come and see us. You know where we are, so you're more than welcome anytime.
You know, you guys are just, you know, in my book, there's no 2 better people in the sport, and that I've gotten over the past year. And we really enjoy talking to you, and we're all looking forward to seeing you back in the Octagon as soon as possible.